Welcome to Real as Possible, where two sisters keep it real with hilarious stories from our childhood and honest conversations about faith, life, and everything in between. Okay, hey Ashley.
Hey.
What are we talking about today?
We're talking about body image and weight. Perfect time after Thanksgiving-ish.
And Christmas coming up.
Yeah.
New Year coming up, and everyone's like, oh yeah, New Year, new me. I'm sorry, I sounded really bitter about that, but listen, I'm tired of it.
I sounded really better.
I'm just tired.
But I am.
Sorry, I really sounded bitter there. I'm not. Anyway, we have a guest today. Our first guest ever.
Yay.
It's Joe Reeves, my husband, my love, my bestie.
Mi amor.
Yes, mi
I'm right here, guys.
amor. You're right. You are.
I am.
Nobody. You really are like in the corner.
Yeah.
She back there. Okay. Anyway, yeah. So we were talking a little bit about our journey growing up. Ashley grew up pretty petite, little.
Yeah.
You know, just
For a while there.
a little peanut, and I did not at all. Ashley was like the really pretty sister. Like if I met a boy, I was like, you can't meet my sister, because I always liked her. Always, like I had to go
I just
out of
thought
state
you were like,
and meet my husband and marry him.
I just thought you didn't like me around your friends.
No, I was like, they're gonna like her
Well, she
better than
didn't.
me.
I thought it was like,
No,
I'm not cool.
I was like, because they're always like, oh, look at her. And then they would be like, look at her. And that's you. You know, they'd be like, she's so beautiful. I'm like, yeah, she is. You can have her.
My gosh, she's got claws.
Anyway, so we're thinking about, okay, well, my journey is I grew up heavy set my whole life. Even when I lost 80 pounds, considered, you know, still, you're obese. Remember that?
Oh my gosh. So 1 year, like the whole New Year, new me thing, we bought a
Wii Fit.
for a couple years, maybe even only like 1 or 2
oh my
years.
gosh, I forgot that existed.
And
Yeah.
we bought a Wii Fit, and like you guys, we were poor. Like we were dirt poor, and we were like, I'm gonna get in shape. Like we're doing this thing.
I don't
And
even think we owned the Wii Fit. I think we borrowed it.
No, we bought it.
Oh, did we?
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
no, I think your mom bought it for us.
No. We bought it.
Oh,
and
your
then-
mom,
And then I sold it to my mom.
because we
then
were
you
so
borrowed it?
poor.
I got up, I got on the Wii Fit, and it had the little like, what's it? The meme
It's not
guy.
like an emoji or
No,
anything.
no, it
It's
was
like
like
that
the-
weird.
It's a me.
Yeah, like
is that what it's
me.
called?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was the character, right? That like you build, and so you step on the thing, and it acts as a scale, and it goes like it makes that noise, and then your little me character blimps up like a balloon. It gains weight in the game, and then looks super depressed, and then the thing looks at you in your soul, in your eyes, and says, that's obese. And I was like, nope. No, it just shot my confidence. I'm like,
We
You don't
sold it
even
very
wanna
quickly
try.
after that.
but also we would buy TVs and then sell them like a month later.
Yeah, because we think
like,
we're like, oh, we're doing well. I mean, you guys, the Lord has been so good to us, and He's been faithful in all of it. But
we're like, we can afford a TV now. And then like a month later, we're
Something
like, we can't
happens.
pay our mortgage. We have to sell the TV.
Yeah.
yeah. So, yeah, Joe, we were talking about how we always just thought there's this, you know, stigma, or I guess stigma around like women having body issues, or like men just probably don't deal with this. But I would say that's not true. Being married to you, even just learning more about what you have gone through in this journey, I would say that that's not true.
Yeah, it's weird because, I mean, when I was 400 pounds, like I was always justified it like, oh no, like it's fine. Like my wife is still attracted to me. Like it's fine. Those are like the lies I told myself because I was just wanted to keep binge eating. And, but I hated it. I hated the way I looked. I hated the way it felt. And I think even now, like, so I've lost 185 pounds.
Yay, Joe.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And I still have body issues.
Yeah.
Like mentally now I'm just like, oh, I've like loose skin all over the place. And, like even now, like the shirt, I feel like it's too tight. It's probably not too tight, but it's just like a mental thing. And,
You look good to me.
thanks, girl. Like you did headshots with me earlier for my business. And, it was like, I looked at him like, oh, do I look like I'm uncomfortable? Like I feel uncomfortable. And,
Right.
and so that, I think that's like more comfort, even like as a part of body image, like,
Could it be something that you're just kind of used to? Like your brain hasn't shifted to a certain point? Like, does that make sense? I don't know how to explain it, but
I think
Like psychologically, you still think
kind of
that
like you're not
every now
caught, like
and
you
then.
haven't
Yeah.
caught up.
like every now and then I do like,
Yeah.
because we're getting into like winter months now, and we pulled out our winter stuff and I put on my sweaters that I used to when I was 400 pounds.
Yeah.
And it was, I mean, obviously they didn't fit, but it like felt normal
Right.
and I felt comfortable.
Yeah.
And like I obviously being a really big guy, I would hide behind huge clothes, and I still like have a tendency to want to do that.
Yeah.
And I don't know. And it feels weird. Like, okay, I'll say I lost most of my weight because I had surgery. I had a sleeve gastrectomy. And so I lost a lot of weight really fast.
Yeah.
And I think that mentally I couldn't mentally keep up with what my body was physically doing.
Right.
And so I like, even now I still like, I saw myself in a commercial and I was like, jeepers, that guy's huge, like, and so it just, there's like a body dysmorphia thing that happens. And, but also like, like what Nicole said, I have lost 185 pounds and I'm still medically morbidly obese.
Yeah.
And so like it feels weird. It feels weird to be like, I lost an entire person off my body and I'm still fat. Like,
yeah.
And so that's like weird to navigate. Yeah.
Well, it's like discouraging too when you see or hear that.
Yeah, it is. And I guess like I'm not too discouraged. Like I get in that for a second, but my body feels so much better. I sleep so well now. I mean, not last night. Apparently, like we woke up at 2 in the morning.
Yeah,
and just,
that's what she was saying.
It was and then like we were just up, we were like laughing.
Yeah,
for like
actually, I think it was like a
hours.
really sweet moment. Like we just stayed awake and just laughed and talked. And
yeah, I think it was good. And I wanted to take a nap and I didn't, but I like. So also, I've lost 185 pounds and I'm not even at my goal weight.
Yeah.
Like I was supposed to get to this goal weight, like within 18 months of surgery, and I've passed the 18 months. I didn't get to the goal weight. So then it was like, oh geez, like did I fail? And we spent $15,000 out of pocket, and we had friends and family like help pay for the cost. And so it's like, I'm insecure about that. Like, oh man, like I let all these people
like you
down.
let them down.
It's a lot of skin in the game. Yeah.
Literal skin. And so there's just there's a lot going on. There's a lot like riding on it. I was putting a lot of pressure on myself, and I finally started losing weight again. And I started taking, I'm going to butcher this. Tirzepatide. And like, I guess it's a common thing for people who have had surgery to kind of get the last pounds off is to do the GL1Ps. I don't think I said that right, but the tirzepatide, tirzepatide, however you want to say it, semaglutide, Ozempic or whatever. So like that's becoming like a popular trend to do that. And I was like, you know what, like what's the worst that can happen? I'll try it. And so I started going to Revitalife for You, one of the people that's doing the IV drip for our giveaway basket. Carrie Ann Adriano, she's phenomenal. She's doing it herself. She's lost like 80 pounds or something. And since I've been taking that shot, I've lost almost 15 pounds.
Wow.
Yeah. And I think there's like a lot of, there's people that'll listen to this and think, oh, that's awful. And there's that and there's that. I'm like, you know what? Though my husband's not 400 pounds and I'm not terrified that he's, going to die in his sleep.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Well,
Like there's,
it is, I guess like the thing is I wanted to lose the weight without AIDS,
you worked so hard.
You worked a lot. Yeah.
I was lifting weights.
I mean, it was years of you trying these different things.
And like I would go on keto and then I would hate keto. And then I'd go on Weight Watchers and then I'd hate Weight Watchers. And like I got legitimately like medically diagnosed with a binge eating disorder. And so like there were times, and it was like one of the most embarrassing things in my life to admit to Nicole that like, hey, I told you I was going to go to the gym, but I went to McDonald's. I said I was
comfort thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like,
it's like closet eating.
Closet eat for sure.
Right.
And like, there was Nicole and I had to rebuild trust because I said I was going to the gym.
Yeah.
And then I come home and she'd be like, you smell like fries. And I'm like, well, that's weird.
Smell like fries.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what
but
the gym
it was
smells
just like, I'm like, I don't know. And so, and I still like, even though I had surgery and even though I've like started taking the shots, which the tirzepatide shots they curb cravings, which is huge. Like surgery didn't do that.
Yeah.
Right.
And I remember when I first had surgery, I would get nauseous because I would crave something, but then the thought of that food, because my stomach was like healing, literally made me nauseous. But then after a while, like that went away.
Even like the surgery you have to do a lot of work for that.
Yeah.
To lead up to it. And then
it's different.
It's still hard work. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Also, side note, caregivers to your loved ones that go through that surgery, I give you so many props. It's hard to watch. It was hard to watch you go through the aftermath. And
hearing the stories though, I'm like proud of the person that God has made me to be. Not like a pride, like an evil pride, but like, when you're on drugs like that and your loopy is all get out and like your real personality comes out, and like I was like praying for people and he was like
going around the halls praying for all the
You're making like phone calls telling people how much you love them.
And it's like I don't remember anything other than what people have told me. So I called Jamie and Jason, and I guess stoned Joe on pain medication, realized that Jamie and Jason Gons had the same initials, and like
that was funny.
I guess I was talking about the draft.
We have videos, guys. We have videos.
Yeah, Nicole illegally recorded me.
Well, I don't know. What's yours is mine, and what's mine is yours.
Unity, man. One flesh.
One flesh.
So yeah, I would say too, like, Ashley, I don't know how to ask the question.
I'll just ask it.
What is it like for you? Because I just grew up heavy set and very, very frustrated all the time. Like, again, I went from, I lost 80 pounds and I gained some of that back. And I struggle because like I could look at a burger and gain weight. But you were at some point, like, did you ever find your value and your beauty in how thin you were?
Well, I think society brings a lot of that.
Yeah.
Because for so long, that was, if you had this certain type of body, that was beautiful.
Right.
And
we had Britney Spears. Like, that's what we grew up with. It sounds like a little Saturn trying to start in the middle of winter.
Wisconsin cars.
Yeah. But like, we had like these, the zippers that were only
4 inches.
Yeah, like long
the low,
and like
low rise pants,
and
which are coming back.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
No, man.
Please keep the mom jeans alive. I've been wearing them since 1987.
you were born.
Yeah, you know mom pulled those things up.
I'm picturing it.
She's probably like, and I'm like, Mom, the one time you don't have to do that is when I'm born, because I was tiny then. Let me have my dream of wearing these Britney Spears pants.
Yeah, I don't like, for me it was definitely like growing up having that kind of put into your mind that you have to be skinny was a big one. And I was very huge on like movies and actresses and stuff in high school. Like,
I mean, you are so beautiful.
Oh,
like,
thank you.
So beautiful. So stupid.
I don't understand it, but I'm just gonna accept that compliment.
Oh yeah, receive it, girl. Show your hands.
Like in high school, like I was like, oh, I'm gonna get out of this small crazy town. I'm gonna go to Hollywood and stuff. Mm-hmm. So like, I had this dream of going there at one point, and then I was like, yeah, I really don't want myself out there.
Right.
And like I did go through body issues in high school. Like I did go through like, and I covered it up with like saying like I'm a vegetarian, because it started that way where it's like, oh, I'll be a vegetarian with you to a friend. And then it became like vegetarian and then a vegan and then back to vegetarian. And it was just like, I was just like not eating is what it was.
It really became an eating disorder.
It did. Yeah. And so I was dropping weight and stuff. And then
while I was gaining them,
I was also going through like depression and stuff at that time, not realizing that's what it was. But looking back, I'm like, wow, I was pretty messed up. Mm-hmm. And then I graduated high school and everything. And I don't think I really realized I was really starting to gain weight until about probably the time Matt and I were getting married. Mm-hmm. Like that's when I started noticing like, okay, there really is some weight gain happening. Like I knew my clothes were getting bigger, but it didn't bother me until then. Mm-hmm. And then a year later I was pregnant, and then it was just downhill
with
from
your
there.
Hormones, it messes with your metabolism.
So we ended up.
I gained 60 pounds every time Nicole got pregnant.
Yeah.
He gained a lot. I gained 60 or 70 with Liam. And then it took me 3 years to lose some of it, but I had to go on like extremely strict keto.
That's what we did. We did keto before keto was a thing, honestly. We did.
Not before it was a thing, but before it was a fad.
Yeah, there was really gross food out there. Like it was super disgusting.
Keto's been around for longer than we've been alive.
Like, they've really upped some things in the keto world.
Yeah, you guys get like all this bread and stuff, and we're over here eating our broccoli and chicken every night.
Oh my gosh. Remember...
There's a reason why I can't eat half the food anymore.
I know.
So when we first moved to Wisconsin in 2013,
that's when I was doing keto.
Nicole moved ahead of time. You guys were doing that thing.
You were doing that Kellogg thing, weren't you? No. And then running.
Oh yeah, with Bree.
Walking with Bree.
Bree and I would, So I lost about 25 pounds before I came to Wisconsin.
Because that was right after Bailey was born.
I lost like 50. Mm-hmm.
You lost like 70 pounds. In like from like
you starting like the weight loss total. To
right. It was a lot of weight.
It was a ton of weight. Yeah. But like so Nicole moved to Wisconsin like 5 weeks before I did. So she was like getting an apartment for us and getting stuff ready. And I was like I was a youth pastor.
You were phasing
out and trying to find a replacement. And like was taking the students on a missions trip to Denver, which was the weirdest missions trip I've ever been on to this day. And so like I needed to finish those things, but we need to get our life started in Wisconsin. So Nicole went on ahead of me. And so I didn't see Nicole for 5 weeks, except for on like FaceTime, or she had like an iPod thing or whatever at the time. Yeah. And then, so I would like see her every now and then on like a messenger call or something like that. And like I really couldn't see anything. And I got here and she looked like a completely different person.
Yeah. Yeah. I lost a lot of weight very quickly.
So much weight. It was the
strict keto together, and then
it was like a
we were
specific-
running.
Medicine.
Medicine.
Yes.
Medicine.
Without
And like,
the actual medicine.
yeah. And like,
Right.
so I would like, right, without paying like $800.
Yeah, we just did the
Yeah.
diet and
We
it
just-
worked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was crazy. And like,
It's not
I would walk
sustainable.
in and
No.
Ashley was standing in front of her freezer and she was shaving like chocolate and almond.
You were making that stuff you would put in the freezer.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
So it was like,
Was it super disgusting?
it was like cocoa powder
Yeah.
and coconut flakes and like almond, like pieces of almond.
yeah,
And you would
probably
freeze
super
it.
bitter.
And then you'd like scrape it off and put it on sugar-free Jello. And you're like,
Oh yes.
and you're like, this is the only
This
thing.
is the only
and,
thing
like,
I can, because
Yeah.
I'm a sweet tooth person. I needed something to trick my mind.
Right.
Yeah.
And
It's like the videos of the guys sniffing the apple or like you're sniffing the chocolate and you're taking a bite
Yeah.
from an apple.
Yeah.
but it was like super strict. It worked. I was running 3 miles a day, 3 days a week, doing 5Ks, you know, like stuff like that. And I felt great. And then I ended up pregnant with Lainey, and I knew it when I had wanted nothing except for fish fillets from McDonald's. And I ate it every day. And then it was just like, boom. And I've never been able to successfully go back to that.
It's
Or
really,
it's,
really hard.
it's soul sucking, man.
Yeah.
Like, I
It's hard to even
cannot-
have a social life.
like, oh
Yeah.
yeah. Cause I mean, in our culture
lot
in
of people
America,
gather to eat.
like everything is, well, and like, there's actually something really special about like
It's biblical.
food and gathering
Yeah.
and like,
But I
it's
mean,
like-
our food isn't good.
no,
No,
like
like,
American
we have
Let me
food is-
explain.
food.
It's not biblical to overeat. But
No,
when
but
you
like-
break bread together
Right.
and you're, you
but
know,
that's what I'm saying. Like
yeah.
it's a cultural,
Yeah.
social norm.
You
and
do
it's
it when you're
actually a
sad. You do it
beautiful
when you're
thing,
happy.
or it
yeah.
can be a beautiful thing. And like,
Yeah.
And we
then
just
all
have
of
an
a sudden-
abundance of it.
oh my gosh. And
Yeah.
like, and then it tastes so good. Like, I don't care what anybody says. McDonald's tastes amazing.
It does. It does.
is like
and like the
the
French
worst
fries.
fast food ever.
And like
It's
they're-
terrible for you.
they're-
We
it's-
know. We
but, like,
know.
everybody's like ashamed to admit that they eat
not
McDonald's. but
ashamed.
they sell
Their French
billions
fries?
of dollars of burgers a year. Like,
I'm not ashamed.
It's-
I'm not
I-
ashamed.
Crazy.
I'm
I don't
just
eat it very
sad, I guess,
often,
that,
but-
like,
oh, I can't. Like right now, like it. I just can't eat it because greasy food. Like
And you shouldn't.
oh, right,
Right,
right.
but
It
like-
just doesn't work.
they're
Yeah.
one of my clients, so I got to be careful.
Well, they're amazing. I mean, yeah.
We might
I-
just edit that.
I guess
part
I would
out.
say that's
That's
fine.
fine.
I guess I would also say too, I think that you have a lot of different opinions coming at you as a Christian,
Mm-hmm.
as someone who, you know, people are like, well, just have self-control. Or
yeah.
like there's been a lot like
I got
or
that a
like
lot
just
about
pray
surgery.
harder. Yeah, like
I had like, and like they meant well.
they did, yes.
You know, and like I have
Yeah.
nothing ill to say.
Well,
about
even I was
anybody.
worried when you said that you were getting surgery because I was more concerned of like how this was going to
cutting your body
change. And
open.
yeah, anything surgery related like
Yeah.
makes me panic. And
Yeah.
you guys know that.
Yeah.
Like I panic a lot
Well,
when it comes to that
for
stuff.
such a major surgery, like they're taking out. They took
only
out
took
90%
15
of my.
minutes.
It took 15 minutes, and they even my stomach was so large they had to put in extra incisions. Like it took longer than normal.
Yeah.
My surgeon said that I had one of the biggest stomachs he'd ever seen, and that normally people with a stomach the size of mine are 600 to 800 pounds, and I was like just about 400 pounds. And I was
Right.
like, hey, so I'm not doing too bad, you know.
Oh my God.
I'm ahead of the game.
Oh
You know? I'm
my
like-
goodness. Yeah. We'll take it as a win, I guess.
but like people would come up to me, and like I was a campus pastor at the time that I had surgery, and I was always like very open and honest about it. And people would come up like, "Oh, you just need to pray harder," and like I'm praying.
have
for
you tried this?
Have you tried this?
And I'm like, oh
Like,
boy.
have you given it a real shot? And
Yeah.
I'm like, look, man, I feel like the Lord told me that. Like I,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
and again, I'm not saying that negatively. Like
Mm-hmm.
they meant so well, and they were literally just trying to. And it's like you said, like.
And they might not have known your journey, that
No,
you've tried
and,
so many things.
like,
And right now
nobody
it's a
is.
health issue.
Right. And like,
Yeah.
And you know, I'm like trying to lead these people spiritually, it's like hard to admit, like, well, actually I've got a disorder. I'm medically like diagnosed with a severe binge eating disorder. And it's not just a self-control thing. There's like something going on in my brain. And
Yeah. You did counseling even? Like,
oh
Yeah.
man, I did so much.
Yeah.
And then and like the thing that was really hard about it too, and like I was going to say this earlier, having surgery doesn't fix the mental issue that like I still
You
fight.
still have to have that.
I still fight. Like,
yeah.
I love food. I love the way that it feels.
Yeah, the
when
texture.
you eat it. I love
and
like
the smells.
That
oh my
satisfaction
gosh,
where you crave and you get what
it's
you
like,
want.
when I'm super upset, I want to eat, and like when I'm super happy, and you're like with your friends, and you're like you want to. It's so ingrained in us, and like that just doesn't go away. And so like surgery for me, it wasn't like some people, you know, had the like, oh, you're taking the easy way out, and like I can understand how you
It's not
feel
easy.
that way. It's just
It's
it's different hard, and it was different hard for me for sure, and like it was so hard to simultaneously crave something and then that just having the craving make you nauseous. And like there was times where I would like buy something to eat it. Like we went to Dairy Queen one time, we were on the road, and I bought a cheeseburger and like opened the cheeseburger and
just kind of
closed it and like threw it away because it just made me nauseous. And, and it would mess with my mind so much.
Yeah.
And then I don't know, like it's just been a lot of mental battles in that, and I still struggle with that. And especially as I'm like discovering like what goes on the inside of me and like what makes me tick. I'm still discovering how to overcome that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Matt and I were having this conversation recently too, because especially with the situation with Dad, diabetes is such a big thing in our family, and it just creeps in, you know, like I'm a sugar person. I love my sweets.
And I love like chips.
Oh,
and just like
I like sweets.
Like I love comfort food. It's all junk.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would live on mashed potatoes.
Oh,
The potato is a good, it's universal. But we were talking about how we need to get to the point of, we just need to take care of ourselves. Like we just need to. Can I move this stool? Because I keep moving it and I feel really, sorry guys, I feel really bad. But, and it's making noises. But we ended up having this conversation because, Matt has his own struggles and then I have my struggles, and we need to figure out what works.
Right.
And being real about things and doing it with grace towards each other, because there is that thing where it's like, well, now I feel like crap because you told me that maybe that isn't good for me or anything. Like we have to like have this understanding, but we're starting to learn like the health benefits of what this food does to our body compared to what this does to our body. And we had this conversation last night, even like for our kids, like our kids love junk food, but they love healthy food too. So our kids aren't really picky, but it's just more of like educating them, because when they get older, they have to take care of, like our job is to raise them. So now we're just in the seriousness of things. And
well, do you think it's different too? Because like Nicole and I's kids, they kind of inherited our metabolism. Like, you know, there's just a lot of things that we've noticed and patterns and habits that I had growing up that I'm seeing in my kids. But like your kids are rail thin. And so like, I think it's super important to teach them the healthy habits now, because that doesn't last.
No, I mean, it didn't last for me. Like, and Matt and I had talked about it today where he was like talking about his weight and stuff and like his like whole dad bod kind of thing. And I'm just kind
Matt's
of
a
like,
stud.
He's a handsome guy. He's just tall, so he can afford, you know what I mean?
He can afford like to gain and lose.
Like
and
if I was
and
tall,
stuff.
you know, all of mine just like rest like right in my like torso area.
Mine just rests.
But I think my question is like, you know, are you guys taking that approach?
Yeah.
Like, how are you taking that approach? Because like knowing that
with
was
Lainey,
you guys.
it's easy. She can't have any milk,
she's
and she
gluten-free,
can't have any gluten.
She can't. Yeah, she's eating restrictions anyways. But the gluten, she still loves. She's a sweets like she's. So the difference between Lainey and Liam is that Lainey will graze all day long. She loves to graze.
Yeah.
Always. Since she was born, she was like, give me food, give me food, give me food. Liam is a bird. And you can feed him a meal and he'll take a few pecks out of it. He's like, here's my few pecks out of my little bird feeder kind of thing. And he's full. Like him right now, like I noticed this about him. Like he's like, I'm full, I'm done. Like I want to know what that life is like.
Yeah, seriously.
I eat until I can't physically
do it
anymore.
One of the things that I'd realized and why it was a good decision for me to get surgery was you have hormones in your stomach that like connect to your stomach that and this is the way it was explained to me by a doctor, so this could be wrong. Internet, be kind. This is how I understand it. It's like a faucet. So when you don't have anything in your stomach releases a hormone and it like lets you know to eat. It's like a survival thing. Like that hormone tells you like, hey, you're hungry, you should eat. And then when you eat stuff, you have a different hormone that tells you you're full. Well, when I was going through like some different testing and things like that, one of the doctors had said like, well, you don't have a valve that turns off hunger.
Yeah.
And you don't have a valve that turns on full feeling. So leptin and ghrelin, I can't remember which is which, but so like I was always hungry and I was never full. And I thought I would always think it would be so weird. Like I'd eat literally so much food and then 10 minutes later feel hungry.
Yeah.
And
McDonald's never fills me up.
Well, nothing.
I could keep, especially McDonald's. I could just keep eating that stuff.
Well, I remember, like before surgery,
so
like we're talking about Thanksgiving. I would have like 5 Thanksgiving plates, full plates, and
easily.
To me, it was more of like this tastes so good.
Yeah.
Well, and
I'm going to keep doing
100%.
this.
Thanks for listening to Real as Possible. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share the laughs with someone who needs it. See you next time.